It was raining much of the night and right into the time where the arrival of the Pacific area was expected. So I didn't leave the house. This E-M10 Mark II is not considered splash proof. I have enabled the digital image stabilization for video in addition to the sensor shift stabilization. I'm currently sitting on a bench trying to minimize the shaking physically on my body as well as on the camera. The departure of the Pacific area is scheduled for 1800. It should be starting to get dark by then, so that should enable me to test the focusing in less than favorable lighting. There's another cruise ship here as well. And I will now attempt to zoom in on that. I can't see any hunting now. I'll now turn off the camera so I can switch on the ×2 digital magnification. I now have turned on the digital ×2 magnification. I am using the 40 to 150mm lens and I'm not on a tripod. This is the Kia coming past. Now since the Kia is moving, with version 1.3 I was expecting some focus hunting to take place, even in this lighting. Anyway, let me find out whether I can see the name on the cruise ship that I wasn't expecting. Looks like the Sea Princess. Quite a bit of traffic going on. So panning back. Another ferry arriving. Try to find that was me shifting the camera because I'm trying to find the manual zoom, which I've done. I am now shifting my body, which is the reason for the current. There she was hunting for focus. As I was saying in the blurb of the previous video, the real test is what she's doing when I do the gannets. But I expect that the gannets have now all gone back to Australia, so I don't even bother going up to Muriwai Beach. I hope it's not just wishful thinking, but I think with version 1.4 of the firmware, the focus hunting has diminished. It hasn't gone away completely, but it's much less than it was. So there you go. I'm now at an angle on the bench. My body stabilization is not the best. I'll leave it here. Here is another arrival. I am at 40 millimeters on the 150 millimeter lens. The Kia ferry is leaving in. I was on ×2 digital magnification before, and now I'm zooming in manually. Go back to the reefer. And my perception with firmware version 1.4, the camera. Thank you, sir. The person noticed that I am doing a video and decided to go behind me. Thank you if you're ever watching this. As I said before, both sensor and digital image stabilization are now set in the menu. I have been using the SH50, SH1 and SH2 pocket zooms for Olympus for years. They have quite small sensors. The advantage of that is that the depth of focus is more, so you don't lose as focus as quickly as you do with a bigger sensor. These people were going past and the camera did not acquire focus on them and lose focus on the ship. So there's a bit of tolerance. Still got some manual zoom left without the 2x digital zoom. Going back to what I was saying, with the pocket zooms I was a bit spoiled for tolerance in focusing, because with a small sensor the depth of focus is greater, so the image doesn't go out of focus in the first place, so there is no need to constantly hunt for focus. So it takes a bit of extra work in the design to make a camera with a bigger sensor like the E-M10 Mark II focus with as much ease as a pocket zoom does. I am panning manually, meaning I'm not on a tripod. But both the focus and the image stabilization seem to be doing their job looking through the viewfinder. Well, I'll leave it there. I'm going to do what I was supposed to be doing in the first place: shopping. I've done the shopping, so here's the type of card I'm using. This is handheld on the E-M10 Mark II with a 14-42mm lens.